California shaken by 4 earthquakes. Southern California experienced a series of 4 earthquakes on Sunday afternoon, startling residents in Los Angeles County. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS earthquake tracker, the tremors ranged from 2.5 to 4.1 in magnitude, affecting areas including Westlake Village and Malibu. Smaller quakes, measuring 2.5, 2.8, and 3.0, occurred within 13 kilometers of Malibu, while the strongest, a 4.1 magnitude quake, struck 11 kilometers from Westlake Village. The USGS reported that the most intense shaking was felt in Malibu, Agoura Hills, Camarillo, and Thousand Oaks. One local resident shared their surprise on X, stating, "I've never felt the ground shake heavily beneath my feet until now. Pretty wild." Despite the alarm, the modified Mercalli intensity scale classifies a 4 magnitude quake as light, meaning it typically causes mild shaking indoors, slight rattling of dishes, and creaking walls. Social media users voiced their concerns, with some fearing a potential tsunami. However, the U.S. National Tsunami Warning Center quickly reassured the public that no tsunami threat was associated with the earthquakes. Trump refuses to resume Ukraine aid following mineral deal agreement. U.S. President Donald Trump has privately indicated that signing a mineral deal with Ukraine will not be sufficient to restore U.S. aid and intelligence sharing, according to reports from NBC News. Trump has also expressed a desire for changes in Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's approach to negotiations. A U.S. administration representative and another American official disclosed that while Trump supports the mineral agreement, which would grant the U.S. access to Ukraine's mineral resources, he also expects Zelensky to alter his stance on peace talks. Specifically, Trump wants Ukraine to show more willingness to make concessions, including potentially ceding territory to Russia. Sources cited in the report claim that Trump is urging Zelensky to move toward holding elections in Ukraine, and there is speculation that he may even be pushing for Zelensky to step down. Regarding the halt in intelligence sharing, an American official and an administration representative asserted that there is no direct evidence linking the intelligence pause to Russia's recent airstrikes on Ukraine. They argue that the attacks were likely planned in advance, independent of the U.S. decision to suspend aid. U.S. aid and intelligence sharing remain frozen. The U.S. has officially confirmed that it has halted aid to Ukraine alongside stopping intelligence sharing. Concerns have emerged among allies about the implications of this decision, with some worried that intelligence shared with the U.S. could ultimately reach Moscow. Reports from British media indicate that Western nations are discussing the formation of a new intelligence alliance that would exclude the U.S., as some allies fear the security risks associated with continued cooperation. Trump harshly criticizes Malcolm Turnbull, calling him a weak and unintelligent leader. In response, Turnbull sarcastically told 9 newspapers, "I'm a quivering leaf." The NATO treaty obligates all 32 member nations, including the U.S., UK, Germany, Canada, and France, to respond militarily if any member is invaded. However, under the 1951 ANZUS Treaty, the U.S. is only required to consult Australia if the country is attacked, without a guarantee of military support. Speaking to Daily Mail Australia, Turnbull noted that Trump thrives on unpredictability, making it uncertain whether the U.S. would aid Australia in a crisis. He emphasized that the ANZUS Treaty mandates consultation in the event of an attack, but does not require direct military action. China's hidden investments in Elon Musk's empire raise concerns. Chinese investors have quietly acquired stakes in Elon Musk's private companies through complex financial structures designed to obscure their identities. While these investments remain legal, they have sparked concerns about Beijing's potential influence, particularly given Musk's growing role in U.S. politics. Secret investments in Musk's companies. Chinese investors have discreetly funneled tens of millions of dollars into Musk's ventures, including SpaceX, xAI, and Neuralink. They utilize special-purpose vehicles, SPVs, financial mechanisms that allow them to remain anonymous and bypass U.S. regulatory scrutiny. The influx of Chinese capital surged when Musk became a key advisor to President Donald Trump and secured high-profile government contracts. Hidden capital behind foreign funds. Due to U.S. restrictions on Chinese investment in defense and tech sectors, Chinese investors route their funds through Cayman Islands registered entities, which then invest in American private equity firms holding stakes in Musk's businesses. Experts estimate that at least $40 million in Chinese capital has flowed into Musk's companies over the past 2 years. Beijing's influence raises red flags. Musk's access to classified U.S. projects and Pentagon contracts has intensified scrutiny over these investments. Some analysts question whether he is the right figure to spearhead American innovation while maintaining business ties with China. How can someone with such strong ties to China be the right person to reform the American government? Derek Scissors, American Enterprise Institute. Musk has maintained positive relations with Beijing for years. His Tesla Gigafactory in Shanghai, launched in 2019, heavily relies on a Chinese supply chain. A SpaceX, the main attraction for Chinese investors. SpaceX, which has seen a dramatic rise in valuation, remains a key target for Chinese investors. Homer Financial, an investment firm, offered Chinese millionaires a chance to buy into SpaceX for $270,000 CAD per share. SpaceX's projected valuation, 1.5 trillion CAD, within 3 years. In 2018, Chinese investors saw a 530% return on their SpaceX investments. Despite escalating geopolitical tensions, Chinese capital continues to flow into American tech giants. China has an oversupply of capital and a shortage of high-quality projects. That's our niche, New York investment manager. With China's persistent interest in Musk's ventures, U.S. officials and analysts remain wary of potential security risks tied to these covert investments. Ukraine plans third attack on Crimean bridge. Ukraine is preparing a third assault on the Crimean bridge, aiming to deliver a decisive blow to one of Russia's key supply routes. Vice Admiral Oleksiy Nezhpapa, commander of the Ukrainian Navy, confirmed the operation in an interview with The Guardian on March 10th. The Russians know we are actively discussing a third attack, he stated, referencing the saying, "Good things come in threes." Previous attacks. The Crimean bridge, which links mainland Russia to occupied Crimea, has already been hit twice, first in October 2022 and again in July 2023, causing significant structural damage and disrupting road and rail traffic. The October 8, 2022 attack involved an explosion that collapsed 2 roadway sections and ignited a fuel train. Russian officials estimated repair costs at over 7 billion rubles, with restoration taking 8 months. The second strike on July 17, 2023, used unmanned sea drones to destroy another section, further hindering Russia's ability to transport military supplies into southern Ukraine. Ukraine's Security Service, SBU, chief Vasyl Malyuk, confirmed both attacks were Ukrainian operations. He revealed that the first blast was caused by a truck carrying 21 tons of hexogen concealed in plastic film rolls to bypass Russian scanners. The second involved Sea Baby drones, each packed with 850 kilos of explosives and designed to evade radar. Strategic significance. Constructed by a firm linked to Russian oligarch Arkady Rotenberg, the 19-kilometer Crimean bridge has been crucial for Russian military logistics since its completion in 2018. It has played a key role in troop and equipment transport, particularly following Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Ukrainian officials have consistently labeled the bridge a legitimate military target, emphasizing its role in sustaining Russia's occupation of southern Ukraine. President Volodymyr Zelensky and military leaders have signaled that its total destruction remains a priority.